Well, welcome everyone to the first session of our fall program for the Amherst Irish Association, Cumann Gaelach Amherst. As stated before, everything is online for the fall, with high hopes for the spring to be back in person. But to start off this season, we've recorded a bunch of musicians that normally would attend these events live, playing some music and also in between chatting a little bit about how they started playing music and what attracted them to it and what are the various avenues that took them into the scene. But first, what I'd like to do is just give a huge thanks to all my colleagues here who have worked very, very diligently to put all of this together. It's a bunch of great people. So I'd like to say hello to Annie Rogers, Israel Carroll. There's Sam there and Tim as well. And of course, Amanda here. So thanks very much, everybody. I'd also like to please say thank you for the support of the Boston Consulate and Ireland's Department of Foreign Affairs Immigrant Support Program grant. Without their assistance, a lot of this would not have been possible. So thank you very much. So what I'd like to do today is, because a lot of this first part is simply going to be a pre-recorded bit, I think it would be in everyone's, as much as I love seeing your faces, probably in best interest, if you want, to turn off your webcams, only because I want to make sure you, on your end, you have enough bandwidth to watch this uninterrupted. If you're connected to some like amazing server and you have lightning speed internet, then whatever is fine. But I just don't want, I want to make sure that your experience is as unblemished as possible through internet speeds. Throughout this presentation, if you have any questions whatsoever, please put them into the chat box. It will be monitored, and at the end of the presentation, we can address your questions, whichever they may be, about music, about us, about the whole group, about any of that stuff, about instrumentation, that type of thing. You're most welcome to do that, and we'll address them shortly. So without further ado,
I would just stay muted.
Right, of course, yeah, thank you. And if you don't mind, everyone, please make sure that you're muted at all times. As you know, at this point in time, whenever the microphone comes accidentally unselected or something, it's this big jarring blast of noise in. So please try to keep muted for now, and then any questions you have into the chat, and we'll talk about them afterwards. I think we're probably ready to go. So here we have actually just our house. You'll recognize in the video, we were playing right back there. And our friend Corey Walters, who has a little bit of recording experience, came by after work one night, and we recorded a bunch of us playing tunes and talking about music. And we have that for you here. So if you'll just bear with me one moment, I'll share my screen with you. The music should be loud enough. You may, when there's a bit of a chat, you may or may not turn up your volume a little bit. I noticed that sometimes while we try to adjust the editing and the volume to balance it out perfectly, the music is definitely a little bit louder, but right. So I think that's it, yes, and off we go. Hi, everyone. We were hoping to have our meetings in person this fall season, but that's not happened, obviously. So we're recording this for hopefully everyone's enjoyment. I'm very happy that we have Ted Sulos here with us. Of course, Naka Ishii, myself, not worthy of note. I'm Jonathan. This is my wife Amanda, and our good friend Corey Walters is here as well. And we've got a variety of instruments and tunes to play. And I guess we'll just go from there and start off with the Humours. Was it the Humours of Ballyloughlin we were saying? Into, what was the second? Página Rafferty. So there's
I'll see if I know that one.
Find out. This is going to be very informal.
Yeah. Well, this is really it's a session, but a slightly more structured session because of the format. But yeah, this type of back and forth. I mean, sometimes half a session is that. So. Will we?
We will.
That was nice.
Spanish fly. That patio raft.
That,
Yeah.
That one.
That might be a number 3 on your box for you. It's not too bad.
really?
I hadn't played on the box before, but I was able to get most of it. So.
Oh, wow.
Tonight.
Cool.
That's the caliber of musicians, folks. Corey's not played that second tune on the box before, but he figured it out.
Figured it out.
He has
Can't
now.
do that anymore.
So those are double jigs. The second tune, Paddy Rafferty in English, but it's also called Página Rafferty in Irish. There are multiple versions, just like many tunes. So often you'll hear us say, "Oh, that version is very
That
cool."
one?
Or
Which
that
one
one.
do you
We
play?
could do more than one.
We could play another one.
Yeah, play
There's
them.
an idea.
Why don't you guys do? Because do all 4 of you know it, or just the 2? The other Paddy.
Which
Rafferty.
other one
Which
do we
other
all
Paddy
know?
The other 3 or 4 tunes. Can you think of one? I can't.
Yeah. Let's see.
Actually, in 2 hours.
So there's one
Mhm.
that people did not know.
Yeah,
If I had my flute, I probably could
Really?
play more of the notes. At least.
And then Darren plays another one.
yeah. That's not the one he plays?
That's the one that Mark plays.
Ah,
Uh,
Which Mark?
Mark Bode.
Just like there's more than one tune.
yeah, Mark Boda.
Right. Yeah.
Which of the Marks?
There's more than one Mark.
Don't miss the mark.
Anyway. Oh. So I'd like to ask the group how each of you started playing.
Irish music.
Yes. Irish.
Were you gonna say jazz?
I was gonna say your instrument, but
Oh.
so that's kind of 2 different questions.
Yeah, definitely
Maybe.
for me.
It's a lot of questions.
Would you
For
like
someone
to lead
like me in
Jazz.
particular.
Naka, would you like to lead off? Like, when did you start playing that thing?
Well, I started playing the violin in 4th grade in school.
I'm psyched here.
Yeah, right?
Myself.
Really?
And it was basically classical music because that's what they teach you. And I loved it. I loved playing music. But I think the classical music itself didn't really stick quite as hard as this does. So I played the violin all the way through, and I don't think I ever got really good at it, but I loved doing it. And then I started playing guitar and stuff, and folk music, and you can play folk music on the violin.
Many do.
I remember you telling me once that because you have a very good, certainly compared to people like me, you have a very good ear. Like your oral
Right.
learning is very good. I remember you saying you used to trick your instructors
Yeah,
to
right.
play the thing first, so you didn't have to read the music.
Oh, I did that too in piano.
Yeah, she'd want me to, to play what was written, and I struggled through it, and then she said, no, it goes like this, and it's okay, because I could hear it better than I could read it, and that's still true, but I actually have gotten better at reading. I don't read tunes that often, but I can read. So, so I started playing Irish music. I guess I met somebody in college who was studying Shetland fiddling, and I was really, I loved that. And another friend of mine was taking fiddle lessons from Jay Unger. Yes, thank you.
yeah.
Jay Unger, and so she was playing old timey kind of stuff. So I got interested in playing this instrument with folk music, and but when I moved to Amherst, I met people who played Irish music. So I was in a band playing Irish music, not
Living the
very
dream.
authentically, for a long, long time until I went to Ireland for the first time when I was, 40, something like that. And then I went, oh, that's what it's supposed to sound like.
Wow.
Who did you come across in Ireland? Like, who made an impression on you?
It was just going to sessions and,
Yeah.
really seeing it in its natural element,
Yeah.
in its native
Native
habitat.
environment.
Cool.
So, I don't know. I mean, before I was just learning the notes in the tunes. I wasn't really getting how the sound should be. And after that, I mean, I listened, but, I was listening to, like, Frankie Gavin, who plays a very elaborate kind of,
Showy.
yeah, and,
Yeah.
trying to figure that out by yourself isn't easy. Anyway, so
Yeah.
that's the short version.
What do you, while we have you captive on your Paolo,
Yeah.
why don't you play something there, Corey?
Oh, I don't know.
Pneumo Meadow.
Yeah, we could stick with reels and do the new Meadow.
Or whatever
Do you
you
have a
been
jig
playing
you'd
lately.
like to do, or?
Yeah, I
Or a hornpipe?
definitely know more jigs on this. There are some hornpipes that I could do, but I can't ever think of which hornpipes I can do. I can do. We could do.
George Green's College Hornpipe.
We could do not a hornpipe, but like Job of Journey work. That I can
Yeah,
do.
love that
Yeah.
too. Love it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll let you start it. So play it
Okay.
like once through, and then I'll join in.
No.
No.
Oh, okay. I
Let's
won't.
all play it. That's
Okay,
the point
okay.
of a session.
All
is
right,
everyone
all right,
can
all right,
play.
all right.
Is that the one that goes?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a great tune.
Never sure when to stop.
But I-
Yeah. Well, I was gonna keep going, but I played the B part instead of the A part.
Oh.
And then like no one else was playing, and I was like, oh shoot, I messed it up, and it's ended.
Well, we started doing the kind of look around
Yeah.
the circle thing. I was going, wow,
Okay.
stop that.
I just like
Yeah.
had my eyes closed because
Yeah.
I needed to concentrate sometimes. Yeah.
But they play that on Cover the Buckle slightly differently, but incredibly awesomely. Huh?
I don't know.
You're the one that told me about that.
Oh.
Sean McConaughey and Sean
No,
Cross.
I did not
It's
tell you
all
about that. I
set
can
dances.
tell you I did not tell you about that. I can absolutely
Who
guarantee
told
because
me?
I do not.
Really?
I've never heard of that.
Kieran Jordan
Yeah.
put this project together.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Huh,
I
you
sort of
told
remember
me
that that
it's
was a
all
thing, but I don't know what it's called.
Oh, it really.
Yeah.
called
Okay.
Cover
Cover the
the
It's,
bucket.
Buckle.
it's one of my
Yeah.
very favorite albums. Period.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll have to look it up.
Oh,
Ah.
so what
Memory.
for the listeners? What Ted was just talking about with looking around the circle is when a group of musicians
Called
are
Communicate.
playing together. That's how we communicate about what to play, how many times to play a tune, when to change to the next tune, or stop playing altogether. So so keep your eye out because you'll see us. You know, it probably sounds like a lot of noise, and then you see us kind of looking around at each other, trying to catch each other's eye, determine whether or not we're because it's kind of hard to talk and play at the same time. And usually when we try, it sounds like.
I mean, sometimes people will make a bit of a sound if they want to get people's attention.
True.
You know, like huh, huh. But
We'll
usually
try
you
to
won't
say
say
one
too
more.
much. Yeah.
Which is what comes out as
Well then, again, it becomes well then. And in other traditions, they have things like they raise their foot, you
Yeah.
know, or whatever. In Irish music, we don't do that because that's a little over the top.
I have seen many
Yeah.
people in Irish.
I know.
Yeah.
But there
I have
Such
to.
a snob.
We choose our cues more subtly
Yeah.
in this.
So
It's,
that
it's
was
mostly an American thing
Yeah.
to raise your foot. They
somebody-
do it in
is
contradictory.
the next person going to talk about how they learned to play? Are we going?
Sure. Would that be you?
As you have food and
Oh, it's Ted. Okay.
So, am I talking to you guys or am I talking to
Oh,
You're
talk
talking
to
to
us.
You're talking to
Yeah.
them and to
And
us.
us.
Oh, for
Yeah.
goodness sake.
I'm gonna say, yeah.
Talk to
pretend-
them.
Just so
pretend
that
that
they
you're.
can hear
I'll
it.
include you from time to time.
Yeah.
So
You
I
actually
didn't,
might be out of frame.
despite having a father who's a classical pianist and hearing music all my life, I didn't play any instruments until I was 38. And then that started because my brother-in-law had sent me a cheap plastic Generations tin whistle in the mail, and I had it in my car. I was falling asleep at the wheel driving to a contra dance and started playing along with a Richard Thompson CD. And
While
and
you were
While you're
driving.
driving.
oh yeah,
No.
from then on,
As we do.
only three requirements for a car. It had to have automatic transmission, had tilt steering wheel, and cruise control, so I could hold the wheel with my knees.
Would it be appropriate for me to relay that story?
Oh, that story.
Would you be comfortable?
No, I'll tell that story.
Please do.
So I've been playing at that point for maybe a year or two.
This
I
is
don't
totally
think
worth it, everyone. This is
I
kind
wasn't
of,
going.
it's kind of a crack story.
Wasn't going to sessions yet, and yeah, had gotten noticed by the police once, and
For
I was
doing
driving home
the very thing.
for playing a whistle.
Yeah.
You know, I was playing, and suddenly a car pulled up next to me, and I could just sort of drop the whistle down in my hand and drive. I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna look. And I looked, and it was a cop, and he looked right at me, and he went like that. I was like, okay, but I think I was really nailing that tune this time. So as soon as he was gone, okay. Then I was driving the other way up 91 from Brattleboro, and a car pulls right up next to me, and I'm playing away, and I put the whistle down, and I'm just not going to look now. And it stays and stays and stays. I sort of strain my eyes and look to the side. I see it's red. Well, it's probably not a cop. Look, it's a red Subaru, and there's a guy in there with a whistle in his hand, waving it at me like, hey! And then he floors it. Brrr, and drives away, and I was like, no, come back. I have so many questions. And it was Jonathan. We figured that out years later.
It didn't take. So what happened? I remember because I was not a teacher at that moment, but I remember seeing this person in the car ahead of me, and I thought,
Boy, is he driving well for not using his hands. That's what you thought.
because occasionally I'm guilty of this. I used to be guilty of the same thing from time to time. You know, especially if you're on just a straight highway, you see everything. There's no one around,
Right.
and you're just cruising. It's a beautiful day. I have been known to do it once or twice. I
Don't
actually
try
don't.
this at home, kids.
Yeah, I actually don't. I don't do this anymore. I did it once or twice though. But I always have whistles in the car because if you're stuck in traffic, or if you're having a lunch break, whatever.
Don't do it anymore.
I
I
don't.
always have whistles in the car.
Honestly, partially just because I just don't think of it. But and I remember seeing a person in front of me, moving in a way that I recognized. And as I approach, it's like he's playing a whistle. And I thought, okay, whoa. Second of all, brother. And so I pulled up next to you, and I remember thinking, I saw you drop a whistle, and I thought, why isn't he looking at me? He didn't even beat my horn. Like, hey, dude, look at me. Come on, bro. And yeah, you looked at me, and I waited to whistle, and I remember you like, ah! And off I go. But leave them wanting more.
And I had been playing along the Conquer Dance CDs, finding the slowest track on the CD and playing it, all different kinds of music. And then eventually realizing that the music that just gave me goosebumps was Irish music. And actually thinking, oh no, just the corny conceptions I had of like shamrocks and leprechauns, And but at that point I was so addicted to playing into the music. There was just no turning back. And I started playing lessons. I started playing the low whistle. Eventually started playing the flute. Went to Ireland, found out about sessions. Downhill from there.
Down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
How about yourself? How did you get into all this?
Yeah, long story, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. My dad plays a little fiddle, but he doesn't play very. He doesn't. Yeah, yes, he plays a very tiny fiddle. He plays a couple tunes, not much anymore.
Irish
But
music on the fiddle?
Some Irish music, some traditional tunes. I would say, he plays the fiddle as opposed to the violin.
Yeah.
I would say. He got into it playing for Morris dancing and contra dancing and stuff, but had some Irish tunes as well. And so, I knew about it as a kid, but wasn't, and it was always like an interesting thing. And both my parents were into, folk music as a general thing. And I remember, so I started playing the flute like in band when I was 8 or 9 or something. And I know my dad started buying Irish flute player albums. So I remember listening to Larry Nugent and to Seamus Egan and to some other flute players that he just happened to find at the library or at the record store or whatever. But I still he had some tune books and I'd mess around with them, but I wasn't that serious about it until actually some family friends went and took a trip to Ireland, and I knew their son who was a couple years older than me, and he played the flute too, and he came back and he's like, oh my god, Irish flute is the coolest thing. It's awesome. And so he said, yeah, I go to these sessions at J. Patrick's downtown in Baltimore, and they had, this was a legendary pub that has now closed, but had some really fantastic sessions and had music almost every night of the week in Baltimore. So they had, the big time hot sessions and everything, but they had a beginner session on Monday, where it was fine even if you brought a book of tunes to read out of and stuff, and that's gauche in the Irish music community. But it was, it was a welcoming environment, and I got to sort of learn the system and sort of how people played tunes, and started playing tunes on the whistle and the silver flute at the time. And then when I went off to college, I ended up getting an Irish style flute, and met a handful of other people who played Irish music in college too, notably Jonah Sidman, who these days lives in Boston and is from New York. And so we got, we just sort of traded tunes, or we listened to albums, and he'd say, oh, this is a cool tune, you should learn it, and I'd say the same thing to him, and we sort of developed a repertoire.
Nice.
And then over college breaks, I'd go home and I'd play at J. Patrick's, and I'd go down to DC and I'd play, and I'd go up to New York, and we'd play at sessions in New York and stuff too. So it was just sort of learning tunes
Where
then.
did you go to college?
To Oberlin College in Ohio, which has a big
Ohio.
Oh yeah.
Boo.
Carry on.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of music at Oberlin. There isn't a lot of Irish music necessarily, but there was a contra dance that happened, so we were playing for that too, and people would come through and we'd play tunes with them, and so it was fun, just sort of learning stuff. And yeah, so I started, flute was my main instrument, and probably still I would say is my main instrument. And then I just picked up stuff along the way. I was at a music festival while I was in college, and I'd forgotten to bring a flute, and my friends were playing tunes, and I was like, oh no. And there was a fiddle player who was like, well, I brought a mandolin too that I don't play that much. So I just sat in the back and I worked out how to play some tunes
Of course you did.
on the mandolin. and then a friend lent me one, and then I bought one, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I got a tenor banjo because I heard that was the better instrument to play for Irish music. And then similarly, I moved up to Western Mass actually 12 years ago. I know it feels like it was yesterday. So in that sense, I would say in my mind I started playing the box 5 months ago or something, but it was actually 11 years ago or something like that. I was helping a friend paint his house, and he had a not a box but a box, and I was like, that looks like it might have an instrument in it. And he's like, oh yeah, I bought a button accordion off of eBay a bunch of years ago. and I was like, oh, can I borrow it? And so I just like sat around learning on it. So, and I didn't really play very. I didn't really like learn tunes or anything. I just sort of messed around on it, and then got this box maybe 5 or 6 years ago or something, and started actually learning how to play Irish music on the accordion. Yeah, so it's been a fun little journey. Yeah. Yeah. F-L-E-A-G-H.
Block Hill.
Cool.
Block Hill.
Flawless kill though.
Well, I guess I'll talk about me.
Enough about you.
Enough
Let's talk about me.
Enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think about me?
I think you started playing when you saw Donna Hebert when you were 9 years old.
did. Way to steal my thunder, Ted. No. Ted's right. I started playing fiddle when I was 9 with an amazing fiddler in the area, Donna Hebert, whose primary music is not Irish, but she's a very eclectic fiddler. She plays a lot of different types of folk music on fiddle, and
She actually showed up to Amherst Irish Association
Did she?
once. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I remember.
I don't remember that.
I
It
don't
was.
either.
I feel like it was like a week where not a lot of people could show up, but
Oh my
she showed
goodness.
up and played. Because I remember I had like just started playing the box in person, and
Yeah.
she like promised that she was going to send me all these Philippe Bruneau
Oh.
albums, and then never did. But
Yeah,
you
well-
know, but it was fun to play
Things
games with
happen.
her. Yeah.
Things happen. But yeah, she's an amazing musician and was very inspiring as a teacher. And how did I start? Well, I was so lucky because my dad got out his guitar. When I started playing fiddle, he got out his guitar and started playing with me to make it a fun, you know, a fun thing to do together. And then he started connecting with other musicians at work at UMass
Huh.
who happened to play Irish music.
It's Jack's fault.
It's Jack's fault. And Jay, our friend Jay, and our friend Christy Hayes, and we all got together. We were actually, fun fact, we were actually the first sessioneers at the Harp. We had the first session there.
It's the Thursday afternoon.
And I was told, I was about 12 at that point, and I was told that it was sort of initiated as a way of getting together to play, but also to kind of help me along a little bit for that group. And then it turned into a large session, and it's still going.
Yeah.
And when I went to Ireland in 2001 or so, on a trip with some of these musicians, Charles Adams was another musician who I started to play with. He's a singer and a horn player, and it was a really formative trip in my life, and I got more immersed in the music, in the language, dance, singing, and just was really sucked in by Irish culture, Irish Gaelic culture. So yes, and it's brought me a lot of fun places. That's how I met my husband, who is not here at the moment. He's off blowing his nose somewhere. But
At that Thursday session.
at that session, I met Jonathan because I went to the session and he was playing pipes, and I said, "What the heck are those?" And he let me, try them on and mess around with them, and the rest is history, as they say.
Well, then we were also studying Irish together.
And then we were studying Irish language together too. Yep. It's all very entangled for me, the different elements of Irish culture. So yeah, and I started learning pipes after spending time with Jonathan. He was very inspiring. So yeah, that's me. I think I'm gonna sing a song.
I was gonna say we should probably head for the last set of tunes because I think that my memory card is gonna
Oh
be filled
shoot.
up.
Okay. I was
I don't know. I think it probably has about 2 hours, and we've been going an hour and 40 plus.
oh boy.
So,
Okay. Could I do a quick song?
Yeah,
Only
sure.
because I was asked specifically to
Yeah,
do
sure.
that.
yeah, it might
Um,
just cut out before we finish.
Okay.
It's fine.
I'll try to do
I mean, it's not me. It's just.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
See if we can fit both in.
So, Tarkus Kula?
Sure.
Okay. Alright, so I am going to do a quick song, which is about chickens. It's a song in Irish that I learned from one of our Irish language professors in Galway, Lilith O'Leary, who's an amazing singer. And it's about a pair of chickens who go on a trip, and unfortunately the male chicken is caught by a bunch of women making a stew,
Oh, man.
and he doesn't make it. It's in that way it's a sad song, but it's kind of sweet. So
If you like chickens.
if you like chicken or soup, I suppose.
The happy ending.
Ah.
Like soup.
So here we go. Let's see. Cargus calacha Jamila Hema ma frisch schlecht gefrische de green. Poation gosh ligaks go carkin yation no ga jackie scale ma frigitin. Ma hola brara hura begusa wartan no ga daning de bra hatulen senyor. Fix the groep, skills the rangus, gijs het een lasjen, sumbaklon. Da vecka magla flying in the strijd, foot van een horse, hopro tuuri. Vi per sport jammer, den naar de gerjenta, hatte van lassigas, lavin queen. Mochela brara hura begusa wartan no getanig de bra hartolen senor. Fix the groep skills the ragas haish lashen sungaklon. Herman mochela go parish the queen sanat no jitan the gile file. Natural the fideru kliku shields nak me who a he harm hai. Mochla brada huda nugusa wartan nakatanig na bra tolen senor. Fix the groove skills the haugas high should lashin sungapalon. Harsen kaksi galler naru na burka bak dem niakter humerskil. Ahmach jugas kele malaka veif shintas a fatagas laker veun. Moch that brava hurda gusa wartan makataning the bracha dolen senor. Fix the groep, skills the fragus, hijs het lasjen, sungaklor. Alright, we're gonna play one more set of jigs called Down the Back Lane and Friars.
all the good stuff.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Happy September. Hope to see you all.
Well, that seemed to go off okay, everyone. I wish we had all been physically present so we could share that with you all personally, but hopefully that was a halfway decent second place. So once again, I'd like to thank everyone for participating. I don't actually see any questions in the chat, but in case anyone has a question for myself or Amanda or any of the other members, you're certainly welcome to pop the chat in there too. And of course you can turn your video on or whatever you prefer to do. But we are here in case you have any questions. And if not, then we can go on our way, but hi, Kathleen and Bill. First two tunes were, the first one is called The Humors of Ballyloughlin. I'll pop the answer into the chat for you. And the second one was Páidín Ó Rafferty or Paddy O'Rafferty. I'll type that in there as well. There you go, Kathleen. They're both, there's a variety of different types of jigs in Irish traditional music. There are single jigs, double jigs, slip jigs, hop jigs, so forth and so on. But these were double jigs, and they're both they have multiple parts. So many tunes tend to have two parts, an A and a B, but these have multiple. So I think they sound very good together, and they're also fairly substantial. So they tend to be in that same world. While if anyone else have any questions, I'd just like to say thanks to Amanda for singing that particular song. She's a fantastic singer, and it's kind of sadly too often in many Irish music scenes, there aren't a lot of songs sung depending on which session you attend. But I'm very happy that she has such a great repertoire of music and she's willing to share it. And I wish she would do it more often. So hopefully we'll have more of that in the future. But all right, folks. Well, unless you have any other questions, thank you so very much for being a part of this today on this beautiful day. And I look forward to when we can all be together again, either virtually or in person. But please take care of yourselves and your families, and all the best to you all.
Thank you for coming, everybody. Ija or Tim or Sam, is there anything we want to say about next month?
Just to check out the website for the program.
Great. So we have a great program lined up for the whole autumn and spring, and it's all listed there on the website. And if you haven't become a member yet of the Amherst Irish Association, all the information to do that is also on the website. It's $25 for an entire year. Is that right? And it's worth it. Plus you get, we didn't get to keep the part in the video where we were promoting the merch, but we were all wearing our awesome Amherst Irish Association hoodies and sporting our mugs and hats, and we have a lot of fun things that you get as being part of the AIA. So check that out too.
All right.
All right.
Well, folks, thanks so very much. And until next time, talk to you soon.
Slán ó Éire.
Slán.
Slán.